The reason why this is my least favorite Harry Potter movie is because I'm too old for this movie now. That is because this movie is for a younger audience. And some things that younger audience likes, but I don't, is the music composed by John Williams, photography with much light, and that there isn't a real threat in this movie until the final battle. I think that these things is not necessarily bad, because it's smart to let the audience be around the same age as Harry, and do the movies more and more dark the older Harry and the audience become. This movie also have to set up the Harry Potter universe, and add stuff that isn't so important for this movie, but is important later on. That is necessary but made it less fun to watch this movie. I liked this movie when I saw it for the first time, but I think this movie gets worse and worse with each watch. That is probably because it's not much that happened in this movie that affects the later Harry Potter movies. I think it's only 3 things that happens in this movie that is kind of important for the following movies. The first one is that Sirius Black dies. The second one is that they're building an army that will play a small role in the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And the most important of all is that the Ministry got to know that Voldemort is back. The reason why this movie is higher than the Philosopher's Stone is the character allowed to hate the Dolores Umbridge, the character allowed to love Luna Lovegood, and an epic fight on the Ministry, especially the one between Voldemort and Dumbledore. This movie would probably be higher on many people's list, but I have a few problems with it that made it so low. The first thing is time traveling. Yeah, I know it's a very cool climax, but their time traveling system works even worse than Back to the Futures, where you can change the time you have already lived in. Because here, Harry saved himself with himself, but to do that he had to survive, or at least not get his soul out, that he would never have if he hadn't saved himself later on, that he couldn't do. In all honesty, that's a problem in the book too, and it's not many movies that have made time traveling working. The only movie I have seen that have succeeded with that is 12 Monkeys, and that is the boring but true facts. You can never change history. What have happened, and you can't change it. The next thing is the scene where Pettigrew flees. He only succeeded with that because Harry Potter let him live. You can basically say that the fact that Voldemort come back in the next movie is Harry Potter's fault. The best scene in this movie is, in my opinion, the Gringotts scene. It's so well made and the CGI dragon looks terrific. Just everything about it is just so nice. The sound effects and the whole bank, how it looks like, is just so great. Otherwise, I'm not too excited about this movie. It's well done, but I think it's moving forward too fast. I also miss a lot of Dumbledore's backstory that is in the book. Some scenes are really good, like Snape's backstory and the part they kill the Horcruxes, but again, I think this movie should have been longer and have more build-ups. The wand fight is also not a good climax in my opinion. They have had it in the part 4, and Dumbledore and Voldemort have it in the part 5, and they have it in the Deathly Hallows part 1, and now they have one more, and I don't think it's so great. The part when they are 19 years older should also have been removed in my opinion. Overall, a fine finale of the great Harry Potter saga. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire do a fantastic job in handling 2 stories at the same time. The main story is about Harry in the Triwizard Tournament, and the other one is about a trader that had escaped from Azkaban and now is in Hogwarts in the name of Moody. These stories work so well together because the Moody story affects the Harry story. It's Moody who let Harry be part of the tournament, and it's Moody's plan to lead Harry to Voldemort. The Triwizard Tournament is also very good in my opinion, and I like how each part is linked to each other. First you have to catch an egg from a dragon, then Dag sings for a song that is however my favorite scene in the entire movie. That song gives you a gigantic clue what the next step will be. The points you get from the judges in that part, and the first part gives you different times to the last thing you have to do. The only issue I have with this movie is that Voldemort could have easily killed Harry, but chose to fight with him instead. Showing it's important that he's back and he had never been stronger. What in my opinion makes this movie so much better than The Philosopher's Stone, even if it's the same director and even if both movies are kind of childish, is that this movie have a much clearer goal than the first one. And that this movie have a real kind of threat to Harry, which is something the first one doesn't have. I also like the mystery about the Chamber of Secrets, how they have to figure out everything by themselves, how they have to search what can be in the secret by themselves, and then the finale that's so well done. And maybe most important of all, here they do something necessary. In the first one they risk the Philosopher's Stone, here they're saving Hogwarts. If The Goblet of Fire was the Harry Potter movie that handled two parallel stories at the same time, the best, I think The Half-Blood Prince is second on this list. The main story is about Harry trying to find the weakness of Voldemort, and the other one is about Draco Malfoy. I really like the dark tone this movie have, and now Harry and Dumbledore have to cooperate to slowly and carefully get the secret from Slughorn, with Harry's a worm on the hook. The flashback montage is also one of the main reasons why this is my number 2. The first time I saw this movie was on a small DVD with my mother, and I fell in love with it immediately and it became my favorite movie. It's not that good now, but I still think it's a terrific movie. This movie is the darkest of the Harry Potter movies, and we see how hard the mission is that it can crush the friendship between the characters we love, Harry, Ron and Hermione, of course. In this movie we see how they have to fight just to get and destroy one Horcrux, and at the same time we have a side story about the Deathly Hallows that works very well together because it affects the story even if it's not too important. There's just so much in this movie going on that I love. The Morris fight when you're breaking into the Moonless Tree, escape from Bellatrix's house, seeing when you fight against the Nagini, Deathly Hallows story, and all in one long great shot journey. This movie also have a great ending that I think have to end my list.